I thank you all for joining us tonight. This conversation is something that we normally do on the Girl Go Global podcast. And if you have not been listening to the Girl Go Global podcast, I advise you to go and listen any way you listen to podcasts. Particularly because it's a whole thing and we have a lot of downloads each week. We have taken a brief pause, but I guarantee you, if you roll back to some of those episodes, you will be in for a treat. You will be encouraged, you will be inspired, and you'll be blessed. Most of all, that is one of my purposes, to help women reach their multi-layered lives with faith, know-how, and grit. And so sometimes Miss Tiffany Renee comes on to be my co-host, and we talk about all of those things, from relationships to career to love to purpose, all of those things that help keep us all inspired. So having said that, I have Tiffany here with me tonight to have this conversation about going global, about blooming, about the event that I'm hosting in Washington, D.C. on September the 14th. If you click the link in my bio, you will have access to that link. And guess what? Tiffany will be joining me as one of the hosts for some of the sessions that we'll be doing. And it's going to be great. So Tiffany, say hello to the Girl Go Global community. Say hello to all of the people that have joined us tonight.
Hello, Global Girls. It's been a long time. I should not have left you for that long, but I'm back. And it is a pleasure to be here tonight to discuss all the great things that are on the horizon and will be coming in September as we go into a new quarter, in one quarter and go into the next. So I'm super excited to be able to do this in person, back up north with my good friend and sister, Dr. Jazz. We always have a good time when we get together, and especially when we spill the tea on our lives and what we are doing in business and professionally. And so I'm just excited to be able to do that in person with a totally new and some old audience when I come back up to the DMV. So I'm excited.
Thanks, Tiffany. So let's get into this conversation for tonight. This is a preview, a real low-level preview of what you will get at the event in September. The purpose of the event in September is to offer women opportunity to get the information and resources they need to step into purpose. That's one of the main things. And we do that by joining our faith and our works, our access, our community. We coming together to provide you with real information. We have experts coming who are in the space of technology, funnels and sales systems and things of that nature, branding, marketing. We have people who will be there for career development discussions. We have people who will be there talking about their journey to six-figure, even seven-figure businesses. And so we want to create a space that you can have answers to some of those piercing questions. You're getting live coaching, and if you have questions, you'll be able to ask those questions and get answers. We are not holding back. We were opening the vault, and we're so excited that we already have sponsorship coming in. In particular, we have sponsorship coming in from Black Directory. It is the largest Black business directory in the world. It is also my husband's business. So, he's supporting the initiative and the effort. And so we also have got contacted today from other sponsors. So those will be rolling out pretty soon. But if you have not registered, click the link in my bio or just use the pinned comment there about how to register for the event. But Tiffany, I want to get into this conversation about blooming, about purpose, and what it means to bloom and find your purpose. Because one of the things I think about when I think about purpose, and I think about, as when they say, old people say, when I look back over my life, right, and I think things over, there have been multi-layers of me. There have been so many iterations of who I have become. And so I want to just kind of talk about how you explore purpose, how you explore destiny, and how you explore those levels of yourself that ultimately get you to doing those things that God have honestly just created you to do. So Tiffany, tell me a little bit about your thoughts on purpose, on exploring purpose, and what you've done in your life and career in order to get you to this point.
Okay. We talked often about this topic, purpose and blooming, and all the things that are involved in that journey and that process. Uh, I have noticed, and maybe you have too, in today, in the Lord's year of 2024, that there are a lot of people. There are so many people with causes, but no purpose.
Mm.
And I think that somewhere along the line, we've kind of confused the two, right? And the hack is, or the gag is, that if you operate in your purpose, the causes that you support and that you advocate for will freely come, and it won't be a forced situation. A lot of times we find ourselves in situations where, oh, it was exciting to do a thing in the beginning, and now it's like, oh, I don't want to do this. This doesn't feel right. This isn't in alignment. And the point was that you probably weren't in alignment with your purpose when you picked up that cause, right? And so I have found that it serves me, especially now in my life, to be more of on a flow basis than a force base, right? And I noticed that the things that are associated with my purpose kind of flow to me, and I attract them, and they are aligned with what I'm doing and where I'm at in life, and who I am in life. Because each new level in your life calls for a new you, or at least a shifted you, or finessed you, a polished you. Is a different you. And so that has served me so much, to just go with what flows and not try to force anything, because I really believe that, like, your purpose identifies you and finds you, right? That thing that you can't stop thinking about, even though you gave up already. It's still in your mind, and it's still around, and it's still a thought, and you can't kind of shake it. That's your purpose. So that can manifest in a lot of different ways, in a lot of different venues, right? One of my, and you can have more than one. I think people think that they have to be confined to just one purpose, and that's really not the case, right? Over my life, I've had multiple purposes, and I feel like they are all at the moment active, which is a strange kind of place to be in, but it's comfortable, and it feels good in my body and in my spirit, because I am 150% sure about it. A lot of people say, like, I remember when my son was young, and he was like, he may have been 6 years old. I don't know what my purpose is, but I need to find my, and I'm thinking, like, there are people who are grown whole adults who haven't identified that yet. And here you are, you 6 years old, trying to figure out what's your purpose. And what I said to him, just I'm saying to you all, that your purpose is that thing that finds you. And once it finds you, it does not let you go. It does not let you go. So, for example, one of the reasons, the purpose I feel like I walk this earth, is to help women reclaim their whole selves. And when I say that, I mean mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. And a lot of times it results in a physical reclaiming as well. And the way that I do that, all of my degrees are in counseling psych practitioner track. All of my professions have been in the development of people, and helping people identify and help them walk in their own purpose. And it's not something that I raise my hand to do. It's not something I'm like, pick me. I don't have pick me spirit, right? So it was just something that I do naturally, and people come to me for it. Whether it's coaching them through something, whether it's helping them identify what's next for them professionally, whether it is how do I navigate this part of my life and this timing in my life and things of that nature. People gravitate towards me for that. And you will notice that with your purpose, people will gravitate towards you regarding it.
Mm-hmm.
If you are the person that, maybe everyone comes to you for prayer or intercession and things that need, maybe one of your purposes is to intercede for other people and pray on their behalf. Or if someone comes to you and always, hey, I got a quick business question. If you were to start a business and we do it this way, how would you do X, Y, and Z? People come to you all the time with that. A purpose that the two of us share together is our words, right?
Yeah,
We
for
had
sure.
a whole business where we were ghostwriting for people and writing speeches and writing books and, all those things because we were considered wordsmiths, right?
Yeah.
And I know for certain that words are associated with my purpose. And I also know that words are associated with yours. But that it manifested two different ways for us, right?
Yeah.
You're
That's why I think purpose has to be explored. And so that's where
absolutely.
I was going with that. There are levels to it. You may start out one way, but it unfolds. It continues to unfold. And as you, I guess, continue to water it, continue to nurture it, continue to lean into it, become bigger. It can grow. It can evolve, and it can turn into more than you ever dreamed about.
Absolutely. And I think something you said made me think of the conversation we had previously when we were talking about pruning, right?
Mhm.
And how does the purpose look different in different times? Sometimes you're moving in one direction with your purpose, and I'll use me for us for an example. We started out, we were speech writers. That was, you went to school to be a writer. I didn't go to school to be a writer. I went to school because I understood people,
Mhm.
right? I do people well, right? And so you come in a room and I can read you what's going on with a person. And so we merged those two things together, and we had this writing business, this consulting editing business where people told us their thoughts and we put it into words that others could really understand and could be captivated by. And then eventually we realized that, okay, well, wait, this isn't serving certain parts of us, right? And so
Mhm.
you went into the fully consulting place, right?
Mhm.
And then I shifted over to, oh, well, I still want to use my words, but I want to affect how people feel, the emotions. And then, I dropped the card line. And then I did quotable candles. And then I'm pruning myself again and circling back to therapy and providing coaching for people and taking on, clients as a therapist and things of that nature. And so I don't want people to think that, oh, once I started going in one direction with my purpose, that you can't circle back and,
Yeah.
and pick something back up. I left therapy years ago, right? And here I am now, sitting for licensure to do therapy and, provide therapy in the state of Georgia. Well, one, I never thought I'd be in the state of Georgia. And then two, I didn't think that I would circle back to therapy after all of that. And so what we thought was just words and a message, right? The muse and the messenger has now morphed into still words and a message, but words to help you reclaim yourself in a therapeutic environment.
Yeah.
You see how my
Yes.
purpose traveled and circled back and, turned back around. It looks like someone said I'm ready for a memoir. Okay, well, y'all pray on that.
Yes, I love that. I think we could use something from you in the way of that, but nonetheless, I love that. I love the pathway and the story that you told around that. Similarly, when I think of purpose, when I started Girl Go Global podcast, it was like on a whim. I always knew that I wanted to do something for women since I was young. I used to do a lot of volunteering for young girls organization. I was to be a vice president and then became president of an organization called Emerging Young Ladies Christian Summit. And we mentored about 300 girls in the totality of the lifespan of that organization. From there, I transitioned from that and went on to do all of my dissertation research on African American women, women's studies, and things of that nature. I wrote my dissertation on Josephine Baker and Octavia Butler, and I just have studied women.
Right.
And so, having said that, like when I think about the trajectory of my life and all of that, I do agree that your purpose finds you. I think that we are born with purpose. I think that we have to awaken to what it is. Obviously, you don't innately know, okay, this is what I'm always know. This is what I was born to do. You kind of, sometimes people discover it, they awaken to it. And then sometimes people let you know, hey, I see you writing, or you're so good at that. I think you should do that. But it's so important to lean into that God-given purpose, particularly because you can be good at a thing and it not be that purpose thing that God wants you to lean into. I'm gonna say that again. You can be really good at something, right? But it not be that purpose-driven thing that God actually wants you to lean into. And so it's so important from my perspective, to really like lean into the purpose that God has for me. God, what are you saying now in this season of my life? God, what are you saying for this situation and that situation? Because I have to get guidance and direction from God every step of the way. So when I started the Girl Go Global podcast, it was not necessarily with the intent for something to be much bigger, but it has since evolved into something much bigger. But I always knew that I wanted to do something with women and girls, and it's just creating opportunity even now for things to expand. Oh, I say all that to say purpose finds you, but you also need to be woke. Stay woke, okay?
And ready. And ready. And you need
Yes.
to be ready. You said something. You said when you started the podcast, you didn't know if it would grow or it would be that big, but I always knew. And
Oh.
I said that to you like multiple times, like, oh, like I got so excited. I was, this is good. This is big, Jazz. And you were like, well, let's see, let's see what
My
happens.
famous line. We'll see.
Let's see, but I always saw it bigger than you. And a lot of times with our purpose, it would be the people who, that surround you and that are a part of your circle, or random strangers that will see in you what you can't see in yourself. And it's that thing, and so for people who are having some challenge, in identifying their purpose, what is that thing that everyone comes to you about? Or, that they say, oh, you do a good job at that. I really equate sometimes, a lot of times, your purpose with your superpower, right? There used to be back in the day this thing that went around like, what is your superpower? And I think back then I was like, I'm a writer. That's my superpower, whatever.
Yeah.
But it really is. And if you find your superpower, you must use it relentlessly to make the world a better place.
Yes.
So, and I just think that is our payback for being gifted with whatever skill or gift that we may have, right?
For sure.
I use words and I know how to use them, and that is a gift. And so my payback and my pay it forward is to make sure that when I'm using words, it is to make someone's life better, the world better, something bigger beyond me. So it can be another person or anything, when I think about my intuition, people call it a lot of things. Like, my intuition helps me understand people. Right. And, I know everyone's like, how did you know that? Or how did you, I don't know. I felt it, and so, but that is a superpower. And so now that I have identified my purpose is to rebuild people, especially women and young girls, then I must do that relentlessly.
Yes.
To make an impact. And don't get it twisted. Like, relentless doesn't mean, oh, you got to save the whole world. Relentless means that I have to use whatever that gift is, whatever that skill is, so much so that at least one life has changed because of it.
Amen.
And it literally has like this domino or this trickle down effect, right? Because if I help you and you tell someone I helped you, then that someone will say, oh, Jasmine did X, Y, Z, and Tiffany helped her. And then that someone will tell someone, well, Keisha did talk to Jasmine, and Jasmine said this, and it was Tiffany. And you see how that starts bouncing around, and it spreads like fire. I used to have a mentor always say, light a match, ignite a flame, and let it spread like fire. And that's he used to always tell me that, light the match, ignite the flame, and let it spread like fire. And I used to laugh at him when he would say it. And then I would do something and he would circle back to me and say, you lit the match. You ignited the flame. Look at it spreading like fire. And it literally would do that. And so I encourage everyone, if you don't know, or if you have not identified your purpose, because most of the time we think we don't know our purpose until someone else sees it in us and they acknowledge that we're good at it, or that we do well at it, or we're the right person for it, that then we subscribe to it and say, oh yeah, you know, I am kind of good at that. I do that well, you know, or whatever. So if you're not sure about your purpose, go to your circle. Who do you surround and ask them, what do you think I'm good at? What do you think people could use me? In what way do you think people could use me and my skills and what I bring to, I don't particularly like that statement, but what I bring to the table. You know what I mean? And that's what we have to focus on, right? When I do the things that I do, like developing people, helping them develop, you know, coaching them through things, I feel really good inside. Like, I feel like something is gratified, something is satiated. You know what I mean? Like, I'm satisfied, right? And I believe that when you do what you do, and she does a lot of things, y'all, that there is a satisfaction that you get. I think it's lost on us sometimes that, like, we think, oh, our impact is so small and it's not big and it's not global, but it becomes global when we share with one other woman, one other person. It has the potential to become global.
Yeah.
And that's what we mean when we charge women to go global. Going global means just outside of yourself.
Yep, multi-layered, doing all of the things that are laid on your heart to do, and doing that, and leaning into it for sure.
And doing it with a pure heart. And pure intentions, right? And pure intentions. It's like, when I do things, it's not to make money. I like money, and I like to spend money, and I like to see the money, but I am not doing it for the money, right? And so that's the thing. What's your purpose? The very thing that you wouldn't mind doing if you weren't going to get paid for it. You know how many times I have met a stranger and ended up talking to them the entire flight, and they stop and they turn like, oh my God, it was divine for me to meet you today, and you changed my life. My intention wasn't to do that. I just was trying to listen to this person who I felt like needed to be heard and offer my 2 cents. You know, it's solicited, because I don't do unsolicited 2 cents with people I don't know. But for Dr. Jazz, I would give her my unsolicited 2 cents. But for other people, you know, it has to be solicited. But that's me going global. I will never see that person again.
Yep.
Probably.
You're going places you'll never go, that you may never go.
But they'll take the story of our interaction with them and share it. Just like
when you write a book. Absolutely. Or you sell a product. Your product, your book, even your advice, it's a go places that you'll never go. So I love that.
And that's what you want to do. That is really what, you know, a legacy is. putting down something, putting something in the world. I like to say good in the world, good energy in the world, putting something in the world that can live on beyond where you are, right?
Yeah,
And you have to be open and willing to share that. You know what I mean? You have to
for
be
sure.
open and willing to share it. And you can't hold it so tight that no one else experiences it. And
Yeah,
even if you're afraid, you do it afraid. Do y'all know I don't like social media? Like, I don't like to be in front of people, but I do it afraid. And then afterwards, I'm like, oh, that wasn't that bad, you know?
right,
But you don't
right,
know whose life you would touch or change or
right.
shift or, you know,
Yeah,
adjust. So,
I honestly, I have only been actively posting on social media for a short time, but um, yeah, I love this conversation. I want to talk a little bit about the event in September.
I'm so
If you don't
excited
know,
about the
I
event in
am
September.
hosting my, well, I should say co-hosting my first live Girl Go Global event. It is called Girl Go Bloom. And I'm co-hosting it with Wea Bondo of Bloom Her. And we have merged our brands to come up with an event called Girl Go Bloom. And we are looking forward to serving women in Washington, D.C. on September the 14th, 2024 at 12 noon. We will be inviting you into a space that's especially curated for you to bloom, to find your purpose. And then if you already know your purpose, we have people and consultants and panelists ready to help get you the resource you need. We are expecting industry experts in real estate to be in the room. We are expecting celebrity brand videographers and consultants to be in the room. We are expecting career coaches to be in the room. We are expecting folks to be in the room that understand automations for your business and sales systems. We are expecting people that have an inspiring and empowering mindset to be in the space to help you be bold, be audacious in purpose so that you can teach, save lives, that you can empower and inspire for the glory of God. And so I would love, love, love for you to be in the space and meet me in person. If you've been listening to a Girl Go Global podcast faithfully, and some of you, I know that you have, I would love to meet you in person. I would love to connect with you, and I would love to basically help you flourish, help you bloom right into that destiny and purpose. We are living in some perilous times, and there's no better time than now than to lean in intentionally into purpose, into what God has placed on your heart. Even if you need reconnection to people, divine connections that you like. So many people I met, it's because of a divine connection. I met someone at an event and they've become lifelong friends or just connections I can reach out to for information. So connecting and building the community is so important. Longer the days are where people are saying no new friends. Child, please. Yes, I
I've
need
been
all the friends,
delivered.
all the divine connections that God wants me to have. I need them, right? It could be a friend, an associate, or the plug. Hello, the investor. I need those connections. We'll even be having some people in the space who understand how to get access to capital for your businesses or your brand. We are also have someone coming. One of our panelists has products in stores. If you have a product that you're looking or idea, and you wanting to understand how to get it in stores, get it on the shelves, outside of the online space or even in major department stores, we have someone coming who is a resource for that. So I advise you, I implore you, and I encourage you. I sound like I'm in church, right? I encourage
Yes.
you to click the link in my bio or visit Eventbrite and Google Girl Go Bloom for September the 14th and register. We are selling tickets. Registration is going pretty well, and I would love to just see you. I love to have you there. My girl Tiffany Renee will be there live and in person to support the event. She will be co-hosting or hosting some of the panel discussions that we will be having. So you will get an opportunity to mix and mingle with her if you have never met her in person or if you just need to reconnect. And so I'm just looking forward to an exciting event. I'm looking forward to doing more of this, having more conversations, doing more encouragement, and all of the things that's going to help us all bloom and flourish. So this conversation tonight is let's bloom Global Girl Convo, and you are all global girls. So I just want to just celebrate you because I'm excited about your future.
It's very,
I'm
very much
excited
exciting.
about your future.
I'm super excited. I will be moderating some of these panels. So yes, y'all, I will make sure I get the best practices, make sure that they are sharing their best practices, that they are giving their tips, that they are giving you takeaways that can be applicable to both your personal and your professional life. I'm super excited. I have had a couple of people reach out to me, Jasmine, and say, wait, are y'all doing a podcast at the event? And I'm like, well, no, but this is better than the podcast because you're getting all the best practices and all the tips and, you know, all the inside scoop on how to successfully bloom in this world today and in the professional venues and environments and scenarios. And so I'm super excited because, I mean, we will be there. So if you want to, if you're coming just to meet me and Dr. Jazz, come and do that too. But I'm sure you will walk away with so much more. I'm expecting this to be a very magical movement. Okay. And I expect that your spirit will stand up. I expect that your mental will relax and calm down. And if it's not relaxed and calm, it's because it's super excited for what you're about to do next. And
Yeah,
it's very, like, every time I talk about it, I get the eeks because I love what you are providing for women through this event and the opportunities that will come and the connections, because very much so it's about the connections and what, you know, and who you know sometimes and what
for
aligns
sure.
with you. So
Mhm.
I encourage everyone to come and be very open to the connections and the alignment that will happen. You want to know what your purpose is. Come on the 14th and watch your purpose bloom before your very eyes, because that's what's
Yeah,
going to happen.
I
We're going
really
to put,
believe your connections are your net worth.
definitely.
Even more so than I did before, just simply because of, who in the door that can give you that next bit of information that you needed. Like there's been so many times when I was thinking about something, I said, Lord, show me how to figure this out. Show me what to do. And it's through a conversation, it's through someone else sharing some insight that they didn't even know that I prayed about, that gave me the next stage of information that I needed for my future and what God has for me.
And
So you guys, we're gonna hop off. I gotta get to a class that I'm taking at 7. Gotta grab some food. Hey, my husband's on the line. Hey, Brian. He has
hey, bro.
sponsored me for this event through his business. Black Directory is the largest Black business directory in the world, and he does business consulting through his Black Directory. So if you're on the line, you're a business owner, I suggest you Google blackdirectory.com to get access to the wealth of information that's in that community. But having said that, I am looking forward to September the 14th, and I cannot wait to see you, take pictures with you. It is definitely Instagrammable, y'all, TikTokable. So be prepared. We are looking for you to come with your chic attire that represents your brand or your business. And I'm looking forward to seeing what God will do. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Bye.